welcome back to another episode of Woahman. If you are tuning in, it's New Year's.
Yeah, New Year's Eve.
Oh, yeah. So I know you guys are getting ready to put on your sparkly dresses, drink some champagne,
pop it,
get those New Year's kisses.
Ooh, and have that liminal moment.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Which is a word that we learned in school. We're not going to tell you what it means. Google it. What? Anyways, if you're listening to us,
please.
No, you don't get to know. You should know. If you're listening to us, hopefully you're getting ready for New Year's and you're getting ready to have a great 2019 that includes a lot more Woahman episodes.
Yeah, exactly. So, how was you guys' week? Tell me about it.
Okay, well, my week was great. I mean, it's the holidays. That's all I have to say. No, it was the holidays, and I love the holidays, and I love spending time with family, and I hate New Year's personally, so this day is my hell. No, I'm kidding. I normally don't love New Year's, but I am deciding to make, like, not a resolution per se, but a goal for myself in 2019. I have a couple. So my first one is that I'm starting the Sweat app tomorrow, which is Kayla Itsigns, if you guys don't know about it. Not that I'm promoting it. I kind of want to become a fitness girl in 2019. Yeah. That's kind of my goal. And
I honestly think you could do it, though.
Thank you.
You're really disciplined, so I'm not even...
Wow, that is so nice. I am the least disciplined person, I think, personally.
Bye.
No.
I have no self-control, but whatever. I think
You have great self-control. You don't know yourself at all.
Wow.
Know yourself.
I feel like you have a lot of self-control with, like, money,
especially
food.
with... It's because, Michelle, you have to want it, and I feel like you really want this.
Yeah, for the first time in my life, because I hate fitness and working out. And I've come to, like, I've had to swallow a hard pill this year in 2018, which is that working out makes me feel good and eating good makes me feel good. And I hate it.
You hate that it's so good.
Yeah,
I hate that eating like trash makes me feel like trash. Because when I was 17, I could eat Subway 3 times a week and feel great.
Yeah.
And run the mile run in school the next day. And now if I have like a night out, I'm like literally feeling like a human garbage pile the next day. So eating clean makes me feel good and I hate it. But anyways, that's my goal for this year. And my other one is to do more things alone because I think I'm very codependent on other people. So I'm going to push myself to do more stuff by myself.
Nice. I think it's a really good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like go to, I don't know. I really admire people who go to dinner on their own. That is like the level I would love to get to. I'm nowhere near there. My friend actually said that she goes for breakfast alone. And I think breakfast is easier.
Breakfast would be easier. I understand that.
Yeah. I was even thinking to start with like a coffee or something at a Starbucks alone for like an hour or whatever and go on walks and stuff. So, but I admire those people who can take themselves to like a fancy restaurant. I'm like, yeah, that is self-love.
And they just like sit at the bar and just have a drink, have their dinner.
Yeah. Just enjoy time with themselves. I'm like, whoa, I admire you.
Yeah.
Anyways, how was your week, Esther?
Well, I did something alone this week.
What? I cried. No.
I do that alone. I do that in company. I do that at work. I'm kidding. I'm really kidding.
I'm kidding. I'm a happy person.
Sobs. No, I went and I got my eyes checked by myself. I've gotten eye exams before in the past. Like, I wear glasses. I'm not really blind per se. Like, I have an astigmatism, and I have it stronger in my left eye than my right eye. In case you wanted to know.
I do have astigmatism.
Wow.
And
I in fact have one.
I need new glasses. And
can you tell me what your New Year's resolution is after this?
I don't have one. I'm not big on New Year's resolutions, to be honest. I just personally, I'm the type of person to set random goals constantly throughout the year, rather than set them all the night before or like for New Year's.
Okay, fine. A goal that you want in 2019. Am I putting you on the spot, Brittany? I'm gonna do it to you next, so prepare.
I guess my goal is one of them. There's gonna be so many. Definitely getting fit, whatever. I kind of want to
fitness, whatever.
That's my goal every year. Yeah. Let's be real. I feel like to read more. I've been wanting to read more. Just like I have so many self-help self-help books at home that are just sitting around that are really great books that I always start and I only get like a chapter in and then they're just sitting there and they're all at home and they're great books and I need to read them.
You should use the Goodreads app. I did that this year and I set my goal as 50 books this year and I fell short at 35, but I'm still pretty proud of myself that I read 35 books.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, Michelle is literally a savage reader, like the most savage reader I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone that could read that many books, let alone, I swear to God, you told me you read like that many books in like a summer.
Yeah, she's insane.
Or you read like a lot of books in a summer.
Maybe.
That's like 3 months.
I read most of those in the summer. I've really slowed down in the fall, but yeah, 35. That was it. That was... I'm proud of that goal. I'm not like, 35. No, I'm proud of myself still. Amazing. I wish I hit 50 though.
That's more than some people read in their whole lives. So
that's true,
really
I guess.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Brittany.
Yeah.
Give it to me. Hit me with it.
I feel like my biggest, it's not a New Year's resolution, but like you said, like I definitely have goals. I feel like for 2019, and I think that's important to like set yourself to like have goals because like you got to work to something, you know?
Yeah, of course.
So I feel like my goal is really to just put like as much into this, really and truly. Like I really want to just like
grow, Woahman.
Yeah. I just want to make
you
videos.
Want to grow, man.
I want to grow, man. You
know?
No,
yeah, we definitely want to like start some vlogs, and I think that's definitely a big goal for all of us is to keep growing this and see where it grows.
Keep hustling.
Because I feel like I feel like this whole thing had been like a baby in the womb for like literally 9 months, I would say.
Yeah.
And then we birthed it like how many, like a month ago or whatever.
Yeah.
And like now I'm just like, I just can't wait to like
see where it grows.
Yeah. To see where it goes.
Aww. Look at us, man.
That's sweet. We all have good goals for the new year.
Yeah.
So we hope y'all get your goals too.
As it is New Year's Eve, you are probably going to go out tonight, and you're probably, if you are a girl, because I do think this happens way more to girls than guys, let's be real, you're probably going to get, I don't know, groped by a drunk person. Yeah, I don't know if you can relate to being in the club and needing to go to the washroom and random people reaching out and touching you, but I can. And that's why when I saw this resurface on Facebook again, it was an article that came out kind of at the peak of the Me Too movement. And it's resurfaced again, and I'm happy because it just like brings awareness to this problem that I feel like a lot of men don't really read into. It's like the club culture is like, you know, you should know that you're gonna be touched when you're at a club. Like, you should just expect it. And I personally don't think that's fair, because how would you feel as a guy if a girl was just randomly grabbing you places? Like,
yeah, you'd get mad.
Here for it.
Would they or would they?
It depends.
Think about
honestly.
it. Where if you're grabbing them, like.
Imagine grabbing a guy, because okay, girls get grabbed on the ass, you know what I mean? Imagine a girl just grabbing a guy on the balls, like just like that, like out of nowhere. Like they would be like taken aback. And as a female, I get taken aback if a guy were to grab me by the butt. Like it was just okay. Like I'm not an object. Don't touch me.
I think there's a power difference though. Like I don't think it translates equally. Like I think me grabbing a guy's ass or grabbing him by the balls immediately would be like a little bit of like whoa, and then it would be like, oh hey, like I see you, like literally.
Yeah, you're right.
And it would translate into sexual like
on
that.
The type of guy, though.
Of course.
Like if they're taken.
But
I think in a club, in a club situation,
setting, I think that's how it would go.
A guy before getting angry, I think a guy would be like, oh, she probably wants me.
Surprise more than angry.
Yeah, surprise first, and then immediately into like a sexual.
And then immediately tell their friends and like,
oh, she wants me.
Goes up. Well, that being said, so you might be familiar with the brand Shwepps or Shwepps.
Schweppes.
They're that brand that like all their commercials, if you hear them on the radio,
Schwing.
Yeah.
No, they do like.
They say shh and everything.
Yeah, it's a ginger ale brand.
Yes.
If you don't know what ginger ale is, it's gross.
So Schwepps?
Shwepps,
Brazil. They manufactured a dress. It was part of this campaign, this ad that they did. And this dress is designed where it has sensors all over it. So if you were a female and you're wearing this dress, and anyone touches you, one of the sensors will go off wherever you are touched. In the article where this was featured, there's not that many details about the technology behind the dress. Just like basically just understand this is a dress and it has sensors, and when someone touches you, it will show them the data.
Also, I believe that, like, to clarify, it's somebody touching you, like, it has to be a grab or a deliberate touch. It can't just be like a brush against, like, walking next to someone. It's not going to register. Okay. It's like somebody actually, like, putting their hand on you. Yeah. Like, going like this to your back, like, whatever.
So in less than 4 hours, 3 women, so there's 3 women that were sent into the same club wearing this dress. In less than 4 hours, they were touched 157 times.
Without their consent.
Yeah. So these are just like random grabs, like people asking them to dance, or like maybe they were walking to the washroom and someone like grabs them, or like to grab their waist or something. And it's so alarming that this is not even just at the clubs, right? Like this could be an office Christmas party, let's say. Like there's just a lot of scenarios where I feel like because women are known to like kind of brush it off, like not every woman. I'm the kind of woman that will like literally put you in your place, like don't touch me. But I know not all girls are like that, and it's also the fact that like you're kind of scared, like what just happened? Like someone just grabbed me like I was an object. Yeah. So I just want to know what your experience is that. Like I have personally been through it. I'm the type of girl that when I'm in the club, I don't want to have to ask any of my girls to come with me to the washroom because I don't like to be in the washroom long. I want to be in and out. Yeah. And that's problematic because as a female, it's not safe for me to go to the washroom without one of my friends. Like, what if a guy touches me? And it's so annoying. That has to be a thing.
That's really interesting that you say that. I didn't even know that. You were like, had that feeling about being like, I just want to go by myself, which like, I know a lot of people kind of girls, like that.
They like to go with their girls, like not only
they
take pictures and touch up, but like some of them just don't feel comfortable.
No, and feel like a lot of girls definitely feel safer going to the washroom, or like even just the walk to the washroom is like
that's the part
that in itself is a whole.
And then
journey.
Also, if the washroom is like in a hallway that's like in...
Which it usually is.
Yeah, like in a different hallway where all of a sudden there's like no music. Yeah, down a set of stairs. It's like more dimly lit, and like sometimes it's like around a corner of a kitchen and like shit like that. And you're like, where am I?
It's always the sketchiest situation. Yeah. So it's always like, I should probably bring a friend.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think when I was younger, first of all, everyone should know, I will not step foot in a club, nor have I in years. When I was younger, though, and I did occasionally club, I was 100% touched and had a boyfriend who was there and like literally got physical with another guy, and I was like, ugh, gross. But like, I was like not paying attention to it. I think I've come into my own a lot in the last couple of years. And when I was a lot younger, it was just like, oh, like how, like, I cannot tell you the amount of times where I just thought it was like normal to be touched. Like guys grabbing me and just like, oh, it was like flirty, and like I'm supposed to react flirtily. Like
if he does that is the indication that
like, he likes me and like he thinks I'm hot, and I should just be grateful for that. And now I'm realizing like if that was to happen to me now, it would be a completely different situation where I would be like, don't ever touch me again. Yeah. But back then I for sure was that girl who was just like, oh, this is just normal. This is just what I'm supposed to do, and it's not even a big deal. So, yeah.
I think it's interesting because I don't know the Esther that is in a club environment or a party environment without a boyfriend. I have been in a relationship for 7 years, and anytime I'm in a situation where I'm at a club or a birthday with like men I don't know, I don't know if to be honest, I don't know if my reaction is so convicted because I'm in a relationship or because those are the standards I would have had out of a relationship.
I was going to say for sure that definitely alters how you would just like handle yourself, because at the end of the day you know that your boyfriend's there. So like if someone messes with you,
first of all, if someone messes with me, that's an issue with me and my boyfriend.
Exactly.
But also it's like I'm so appalled at the idea of another man pursuing me because I don't want that. Like, I'm taking, I don't want you. So don't touch me.
But then I guess that's where it's like kind of confusing because like there is times where like you're going to a club, you're single, and like you are looking for those indications from people that like, oh, maybe that person's interested, or maybe that person's interested in me, or maybe like they want to talk to me. And then in a club, it's like obviously the worst place for communication in general.
Yeah,
so there's no talking, it's all about body language. It's all about, you know, like eye contact and like all these like things that not everyone is really good at picking up on to begin with. So I see why it's like kind of hard to say because like a guy, you know, touching you, I could take that as like, don't touch me, you know, because I don't want to be touched. But I could also take that if I was looking for attention maybe from this guy, maybe I saw him from earlier and then he touched me, then I'd immediately be like, oh, hi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a very fine line.
And I think that what's interesting is that in the video about the dress, it was at a nightclub in Brazil, and they talked to a bunch of guys before, and they were like, oh no, like that's not an issue. Like, I don't think that's true. They were saying like 90% of women, I don't know the statistic, this percent of women like say that they don't feel comfortable in nightclubs because they're constantly groped by men. And these men are like, oh no, like I don't think that's true. I think they're exaggerating. And then they had them watch the video after of all the girls being groped all night long. And it shows you, like, the heat marks of where they were normally grabbed. And it was always, like, arms, waist, and, like, back. I think.
Like the stroke of the back.
Back all the way down.
To me. I hate that.
Yeah. And then they were like, oh, my God, like, seeing it. And it's, like, so normalized. It's just club culture. And it's not.
But, like, also I feel like it's, like... I feel like guys, like, they just don't understand because they literally just have a totally different experience going to the club. Like, their club experience is so different than a female. They don't have the same concerns going out in general. Like, there's so many, like, no guy is going out and then their mom or their dad's like, hey, son, like, you know, make sure you watch your drink.
Yes, which my parents always say to me. Yeah. Like, hey, make sure that
you don't leave your friends.
Yeah, make sure your friends are always near you. Make sure you don't get too close to like a doorway or something that you can be pushed out of. Like, don't get into any cars that you don't know. Like make sure your Uber's really your Uber, you know? Like,
like the amount of times you're saying that to your son, like,
never.
Yeah, it's like text me when you don't get home too late. Bye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sucks. I'm happy that Shwepps did this because it was cool. It's really cool. I think that this should be practiced in other cities. Keep the campaign
maybe
going.
other locations.
Yeah, because
I would be interested in that.
I know Brazil. I can already imagine what that club must have been like, huge and filled with people. I'm curious to see what it would be like in Toronto. I think it's just as common and it would be a cool comparison. But it just really arose this kind of anger in me that I realized I never had. And I really hope that enough men see this where they're like, wow, okay, I see this side of it now.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah. I feel like men just need to like maybe just think about like your actions, I guess, in the club. You know what I mean? Just think about how you're going to grow. Like if you want to speak to somebody, like just talk to them. Like don't
look them in the eyes.
And I feel like
I
for
get it,
women,
like I get it, everyone's drinking and it's like that kind of situation, but it's like, you know, not to do that normally. You know what I mean? You know not to just touch people.
Yeah. And I feel like for women, just this could be more of like an eye-opener to paying attention to when you're being touched. Because I think that's like, what it was for me, is that I just would not notice when somebody would touch me, really.
And you kind of let it go.
It's just like, oh, like that guy just grabbed me, but like I'm walking forward, like it's already over with, you know? I didn't have to confront it. Maybe if somebody like really grabbed me by my bum, then that would be different. But like just like the grabbing of the arms, the like touches on the back, it's normalized. And for women it shouldn't be if you don't want it. And you don't have to start a conflict every time, but you should be paying attention to how many times you're being touched.
And it's okay if like someone touches you and you generally don't want it, you can tell them like, don't touch me.
There's nothing wrong with that. You're not a rude person for
no
it's your body, girl. Get it.
Your body, girl. Okay, guys, you know what time it is.
Home time?
Not yet.
Oh.
It is time to play fake news or nah. So are you guys ready?
I'm feeling a little rough, man. I lost the last one and I'm not happy.
Listen, last round, I really got you guys.
You did.
I really did. And I was really happy about it.
Not me, because I won.
Yeah, Michelle was happy. She was also happy about it. Esther, not so much.
We both lose one day.
I was gonna say
there will be a day that you both lose, and that's when the catching up's gonna happen.
Yikes! Okay.
All right. So, are you guys ready? We'll just jump right into it.
Jump it.
Okay.
Jump it.
So, in case you guys didn't know how the game works, I'm gonna tell you how it works.
Thank you.
Basically, how the game works is I'm going to give you guys 3 headlines, and you just got to tell me which one is the real one.
Got him.
Sounds good? Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Okay. So, headline number 1. Kim Kardashian reportedly asked Oprah's entire crew to get vaccinated before entering her home.
Oh, my. If that's true, she's a monster.
She's a goddamn monster.
I don't know why I pictured her whole crew being children that didn't have vaccines. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm very tired.
Like vaccinated because like she's
like Oprah's like has like a camera crew toddler.
that child vaccinate.
Okay, next.
Jesus.
Okay.
So, mom successfully gets her son a wife after showing his picture to a group of college girls at a supermarket.
A wife? Wow.
This reminds me of an Uber driver whose son was a rapper who showed us his mixtape. That's all.
Esther's really just going.
She's going for it.
Yeah.
All right, and the last one is... New discovery may soon allow you to eat whatever you want without gaining weight.
Okay, I locked in my answer.
Did you see my phone?
No, I can't see your phone. I'm blind, and it's behind the mic.
Okay.
Jesus. Esther keeps yelling at me like I'm staring at your phone, which is normally true, but this time it's not.
She was so staring at your phone.
Esther, what are you doing pulling out your phone?
Yeah, Esther.
Like, you can't be looking up headlines.
She's literally Googling headlines. Oh, she's going to do the drum roll sound effect.
I didn't lock my answer, so my answer.
Yeah, what? Lock it. Are you locking in your answer? Wait, she didn't say her answer yet.
My answer is
do mine.
the mother who shows that picture of her son.
That's
my
your
answer is the third one, which is soon you will be able to eat whatever you want with no weight loss.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Are you ready for the drum roll?
Drum roll it up. Sound effect time, even though mine was perfectly fine.
That's better this time.
Give it to us.
Michelle!
Oh, we're all tied up. You know why I know this? Because my boyfriend, which I always feel weird using that word. I don't know why.
Yeah,
why?
I don't know.
I
don't love girls who constantly talk and say my boyfriend in every sentence. Nick, which is my love of my life, his dad is injecting some expensive thing into his leg to lose weight, and he doesn't have to do a damn workout, and he does not have to change his diet. So rich people already have this tech.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's some VIP info that I didn't even have on this story.
This is like that mood when you have a normal season pass and all the people next to you have the fast pass.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. So
we're all the same, right?
So basically, honestly, the story in itself is not much. It's very, hush hush, I guess. But it came from Forbes, so reliable, right?
Yeah.
And basically, yeah, that they're working on eliminating a gene that they tried with rats, obviously. Because humans are rats.
Oh, rats.
That they tried with rats. And they fed them a really high-fat diet. They didn't gain any weight.
Somebody is going to rip on us for laughing about animal testing. We're going to get hate on that.
I'm not laughing. It's a bad thing. I'm just saying... Whatever. It's just like they always want to try things on rats and then say it's going to work.
Rats. Like, don't do that.
So they took the gene out of rats. They ate a high-fat diet. They didn't gain any weight. So now they feel that if they try this on humans, it could possibly work.
That is very
So there you go, guys. You might be able to eat McDonald's till you die. Literally.
And you will die
till you die at
40.
100. You won't die at 40 because you won't gain weight. Actually, no, your insides will just rot.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're
This
walking
seems problematic in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I definitely don't trust anything like that.
Okay. Tell us the twist.
So you guys know the twist. If you don't know the twist, I'm going to tell you the twist. They're actually, the other headlines were true, but I just changed them up a bit. So, we'll start with...
before we start, I just wanted to announce to everyone that the game is tied. Okay, 2-2. I'm catching up.
But if you still think I'm winning, that's okay.
Because she's not.
Just hold on to that information. It'll probably be true next episode. Thank you.
Ooh, all right. Set the tone. Set it. Anyways, so we'll start with Esther's. Esther, you thought it was the mom successfully gets her son a wife. It actually wasn't a wife. It was a date. So I'll give it to you because it's pretty freaking close. Okay, you're not totally off.
I think you need to mix these up a bit more.
No,
because it almost feels like a shallow win when I won on a word.
But you really got it because it was all right.
Yeah, I guess.
Because that's the thing. Like, it seems like such a story that's like, who cares?
Yeah.
If it's true.
Yeah. I mean, I care the weight loss
the
thing.
Story. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That one. That's why I picked it. Yeah, basically the story goes, mom in, honestly, it doesn't matter, somewhere
Florida?
in the States. Florida. Yeah, literally. So she was at the supermarket. She was showing off her son to a bunch of, I guess, other college girls that like go to that college or something or other. Oh, wow. And they obviously tweeted it, and yeah, he saw the tweet, and yeah, he actually ended up getting a date with this girl. So shout out to moms. Thanks, moms. Use a real one. Always looking out for your kids. Okay, and the last one was actually Gabrielle Union reportedly asked Oprah's entire crew to get vaccinated before entering her home, which I actually really wanted to talk about this because I don't know if you guys heard about how she posted a video of her kissing her, like, not newborn, but I guess newly born.
Can you let me context? I'm so sorry. Who is Gabrielle?
Gabrielle Union. She's married to Dwayne Wade. She's black.
I for sure.
She was in Bring It On.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring It On.
Bring It On.
Thank you.
And that's
Mary
the only thing
Jane.
she ever did?
Yeah.
Okay, so she posted a pic kissing her newborn, and she got a lot of shit from it.
She got a lot of shit.
Don't kiss your newborn on the lips.
Did you hear about that?
Don't kiss your newborns.
Yeah, and all this whole thing, and then
but people are just getting. Oh, I don't know.
And then apparently Oprah's crew came to obviously shoot some kind of special at her house, and apparently she was like, just like concerned about everyone's like health. But then everyone was saying like, "You're a hypocrite, Gabby." Like,
yeah, straight up though.
Yeah, but there's a difference.
You just said it's not a big deal.
Baby on the lip,
and
other people.
What if you're sick? What if you have a cavity you don't know about? You just pass that to your baby. It don't matter. I'm not here for
Esther
it.
just got hood with us right now.
They're so fragile when they're born.
No.
Like, you have to be really careful.
Esther is okay. So your team, do not kiss your newborn.
No, yeah.
I never thought about what team I'm on.
I don't judge parents that like kiss their kids on the lips. Like, honestly, that I understand that. I don't think I'll be a mom that does that because that's just I will not say I'm a germaphobe because there are people who deal with being a germaphobe, but I do feel type of way like I don't personally want to do that. Maybe it'll change when I have kids. Who knows, right? I might be so obsessed I'm just going to eat them. But I wonder that small and they're newborn, I do think you have to be very careful because like that cavity thing, like I'm not just making that up. Like I did read that somewhere that like, you know, when you have a cavity, you obviously have bacteria in your mouth and it just transfers, you know? Like,
you know what? I get it. And I sometimes get really overwhelmed about thinking about being a mom. And then I think that there are literally like heroin addicts that have fully functioning children. That was probably a bad example.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying every baby.
I'm just saying children have been reared since the dawn of time, and they were doing a lot worse shit than getting kissed on the lips by their parents. Like, like how do you think we got here? There was,
I think
modern technology is like 100 years old, and before that there was no cleanliness. So I get it, but at the same time I'm like, these are extreme stories that we're hearing about babies getting sick from a kiss on the lips.
Well, you hear like those stories about those poor babies that die with, I think it's called SIDS, like they die in their sleep, you know, and you think it's not going to happen to you, and it is so devastating if it should still happen to you. So
But SIDS is like you legit can't do anything about SIDS. Yeah. It's really called sudden infant death syndrome.
If you can do something about perhaps not getting your newborn sick, at least don't kiss
I get it. I might change my opinion. Right now, I don't feel the way.
I get that. I was like, I never had an opinion.
I would never yell at someone for doing it and be like, don't kiss your kid. I understand not letting your other people kiss your kid. I totally get that. But your kid, I think, just live your life. You got to decide.
Yeah. No, I just... like, I don't care enough about anyone to, like, really be like, don't do that. But in her isolated situation where she's telling these people to get vaccinated, but she's doing
vaccinated against what?
I don't
shouldn't they just have their normal vaccines?
Like, what?
Yeah, I was like, where have you guys been
also,
traveling from?
Also, healthcare in the States is expensive.
Yeah, that's a whole...
Are you funding this, Gabby?
Yikes.
I mean, it's Oprah's crew, so I mean, I think
she's like, they can pay for it.
It's Oprah.
This is all weird.
Anyways, congratulations, Michelle.
Michelle.
Anyways, congratulations, Michelle.
Thank you. My name is Michelle.
Yeah, I just struggled. Yeah, you're the winner of Fake News or No this week.
Esther. Thank you for that. Congrats.
You're welcome.
It's all right. Now we're even.
Can we end this
Next
now?
round?
Even Steven.
Done?
So guys, this has been a pretty consent-heavy episode, and it's about to get heavier. You're welcome. I love it when we stay on theme.
Yeah. We do it unintentionally, so I'm proud.
This time it was intentional, but sure. It was unintentional. Don't tell them. So this week's Woahman of the Week is Caitlin Prest. You can follow her on Instagram at that name, Caitlin Prest. So she's from Montreal, so hashtag Canadian gal. Montreal. She is a host, producer, and artist, and she does audio experiments. Essentially, how I found her was I was listening to Radio Lab, which is a really great, well put together, well researched podcast. And they have a series, 3-part series called In the Know, which is talking about the word no, essentially, and consent. And also, I didn't know this, but she founded the Heart podcast, which I also subscribe to. I subscribed to it because of the cover art, and I have not once listened, but now I will.
We hope you don't do that.
Just to be straight up with you guys, that's why I did it. Anyways, so I listened to her episode about consent, and it was all about women. So her episode specifically was about, as I said, it was a 3-parter, and the first one was about her experience with a guy friend who they had kind of been like flirty, but never like dated, but always kind of for years like that flirty like friendship. And then one night things went a little farther. They got a little tipsy together, and they had always had a mutual connection, and she was very clear about her line and what she was willing to do, and that she did not want to have sex and intercourse in that way, but was down to do some other stuff and have some fun together. And that line got crossed, and she just kind of talked about how it kind of really made her step back, and it ruined that relationship actually, which is when she started examining more this line of consent, both within relationships and within one-night stands as a woman. And essentially, I know for me, this episode got me thinking about my past experiences, and being able to say no. And I was like, she said, like, how many women have had sex when they didn't really want to? And I was like, me, like several times, many times. And how many women have slept with somebody that they've kind of convinced them to? Like, oh yeah, like, no, like, it'll be fine. Like, let's just do it. Like, she had the experience where she even accidentally recorded it, and it made it into the podcast, which was so intimate to listen to. And she's like, really, I think she's really brave for sharing it. She was hooking up with this guy, and it was recorded because it had been after an interview, and she left the sound thing going. And she was kind of like flirty, and like she was like, I'm listening to myself in this interview being like, no, oh, like, no, I don't really want to do that. With, like, a sexy kitten voice.
Yeah.
Like, saying no because I still want it to have... Because I still want to have fun.
Yeah, you don't want to, like, shut it
like,
down.
No.
Almost being, like, that polite.
But being like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go there. But, like, I'm down to do other stuff. Like, they were doing a massage. And he started, like, going a little bit, like, more sexual. And she was like, no, like, I don't like that, huh? Like, come do over here or whatever. So I was just like, whoa. Like, I didn't even realize that guys convince you. Like, I have been convinced into it several times. Not in my current relationship, love you, Nick. In past relationships. But also, she talked about that gray line of being in a relationship with somebody that you love and that you respect and still having sex with them when you don't feel like it. Like, at the end of the day, what is a no? Because you feel gross. I love my partner very much, and I'm not always in the mood. But he might be, so, like, I'm going to go through with it, and at the end of the day, I don't feel that bad about it. It's not like I feel like I shouldn't have done that, but I am doing something to please him because I feel like it's my job. And especially when I was younger, I always thought about never about myself. Like, it was always to please the other person.
Yeah.
Especially, like, when I was, like, a teenager or whatever.
Yeah,
I didn't even know until I got into this relationship, which we were still teenagers. And often I would do stuff that wouldn't feel, like, great or wouldn't be, like, that enjoyable for me. And I was just like, oh, but he's having fun. So, like, that's what matters, right?
Yeah.
And, like, that's how I felt. And I was like, this is crazy to me that I never really thought about that. So anyways, the second part of the episode was talking to college kids, male and female groups, and the guys kind of going back and thinking about all the times that they had a sexual encounter where maybe she changed her mind halfway through and they made her feel shitty about it.
Yeah.
Like, to be like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore.
And they're like, oh, you can't.
And then they're like, yeah, like, why don't you just want to do this? And then, like, fine, just go then. Like, why are you here? Like, that's why we were coming to hook up. And, like,
that was your sole purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know a lot of girls just go through with this stuff. And when they were talking to the girls, they were like, yeah, like, I would rather just go through with it than cause the confrontation because it might not always be safe for me to say no.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
or not even, like, I feel like not even just, like, to the extreme of, like, not feeling safe, but, like, you just generally don't want to, like, ruin the relationship. Like, you actually like them. Yeah. You might actually want to see where it goes, but, like, you're, like, afraid that if you say any kind of no, it's just going to be like, oh, well, screw you then.
Especially in today, and, like, being a strong, independent woman and saying, I'm comfortable doing this, this, and that. And then it gets to the point where things start to escalate and you're like, no, I don't want to do that. And then they're, like, pressuring you, kind of, not pressuring, but convincing even. Just being like, oh, why not? Like, it's not that different. And all of a sudden, like, stuff just slips into places and you're having sex. Like, and you didn't really even know how you got there, but you knew you didn't want to do it. And it's kind of too late to back out. And then that whole experience feels shitty after. Because you were like, wait, why did this have to happen this way?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think it's unfortunate that these situations can be very isolated in the sense that, like, one girl, like, in my experience, I feel like if I were the girl you're talking about, our Woahman of the week, I feel like I would have been able to say, like, listen, stop, no, like, I don't like this without feeling that guilt. But I think it sucks to see that the problem isn't, oh, well, some girls can say no and some girls just can't. It's sad to see that the real problem, and it's such a much deeper problem, is that we're not teaching guys that no means no. We're trying to, I feel like for a long time I had this mentality where, like, girls just need to know to say no. And I understand that, like, yeah, you should be able to say no and stand up for yourself, but not every girl is, like, this, like, girl that can just say no, you know? Sometimes it is scary. It does take courage to say no sometimes, especially when maybe you don't feel safe or maybe you don't want to ruin your friendship with your best friend. But if you don't have that courage or just the desire to say that, I think it sucks that we're not teaching guys to read women better. Like, understand that, like, yes, you guys are both in the moment, but, like, you were saying,
because it doesn't equal sex. It doesn't, any kind of sexual, like, touch or physical anything doesn't equal sex in the end. And I think that's the problem. It's, like, always that assumption that, like, just because I kissed you or I touched your leg or we did this or, like, then it's like, okay, well, sex is the end, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, if you put a halt to that, it's like, but you did all these other things before. And it's like, yeah, guys need, I feel like there has to be that level of like teaching guys also that like sex is not always going to be the end. Like,
yeah. Also, I completely understand that. I completely agree with it 100%. I also, when they were talking to the guys in this like sample group, the guys were really like, yeah, I can see how I've been like that. And I feel shitty about that, especially in my earlier like 20s and stuff like that. That was my end goal. It really was. But at the same time, like when it comes to talking about the legality of consent, I think the most interesting episode to me was that they had a college campus, I don't know her official title, but essentially she came in and she was talking about how she deals with essentially these cases when two college kids that go to the same school, the guy's getting expelled or suspended because of sexual assault. Charge has come against him from a girl who said that I didn't want to have sex with you in the first place. And she was saying how like the difference between consent is that like both people can say, yes, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that, yes, I wanted to have sex, but the girl will say halfway through, I didn't want to anymore and I started to cry and he didn't notice me crying. And I'm like, it's just a blurry line because 100% if a girl is crying, that you're like, that guy he needs to get off of her. She's not enjoying herself. She's crying visibly. But at the same time, when you're having sex, alcohol might be involved. Things are a little bit dark. How long does it take before he notices that she's crying? 30 seconds?
Yeah.
5 seconds? Is that rape in the 30 seconds that it's happening and she no longer wants it and he's still going? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? These are like the technical issues.
Yeah. I feel like we need to be like just more open in general in situations like that to like just say what we want and what we don't want and to just communicate with each other better in like sexual situations, because it's like at the end of the day, like we're both here because like obviously, you know, we're interested in each other or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like,
hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, so in those cases, it's like there shouldn't be anything wrong with communicating like, you know, exactly what it is that you want in this situation right now or what it is that you're not comfortable with. And like
what's interesting is that there is a new consent app out that you can get. It's called Legal Fling, all one word, and it does exactly that. It is to stop circumstances like this from happening, essentially, like in an ideal world. The two people, this takes all the romance out of it, but it's really practical. So like I don't know how I feel about dating.
It. Like, you know, no, like a dating app or like when you meet someone for the first time.
Yeah.
To make sure things don't go sour.
True. It's less of like a met at the bar and you're already drunk and then you're going to do this. But essentially it lays out clear guidelines for what you're down for, what you're not down for, how much you're willing to do, both of you. Also, it sets out like penalties. Like you guys can agree that if you distribute images of each other that you might have sent during this time, that like that's against your agreement and it's now considered revenge porn, and you can take that to court really easily and get that proven, like that this person is essentially like spreading revenge porn about you. Also, it clearly communicates that if you have an STI, you have to share it with the other person, and if you don't, you can be held criminally accountable, and that condoms have to be used. All of these things that like if anything was to happen, you now have this document that can be used in legal situations, which I think is a good thing, especially in the revenge porn side of it, because that's a major issue.
Yeah, the hookup scene, like that definitely.
It's just crazy to me that this is needed. Do you know what I mean?
People. Yeah. It sucks, man. Yeah, it really sucks.
Yeah.
Especially like with women being more empowered and, you know, taking that step to be the ones to ask guys on dates. You know, before guys would always ask the girl on the date. Now women are more empowered to just go ahead, ask a guy on the date. I'm sorry, I know I'm backtracking, but when you were saying that story about that guy who is getting accused of sexual assault, I'm like, wow, that is hard. Because like initially she did consent, and then she started crying in the middle, and like that's such an interesting discussion to have, because it's like, what do you do?
It's like hard. Is his life worth being ruined against potentially having a sexual assault charge because of this? And it just makes you think of it from like two human beings are involved. There's 100% a power dynamic that men have over women in that scenario, and that's not to be taken lightly, and it's not to just be thrown out the window and say both people are passionate in the moment, because men will always have that power dynamic. But I think just the thing to take away from this is to be honest with yourself as a woman as to what you're okay with, and openly communicate that. That's all you can do.
Yeah, that's key.
And when that is not met, that you feel okay walking away, because you deserve to have your like boundaries met.
You're not a lesser person for walking away.
Yes, exactly. And there will be somebody who comes along and asks if it's okay to kiss you first, and asks if you're okay during sexual encounters, and respects the boundaries that you want to set because they respect you as a human being.
Yeah.
Promise. They will come.
All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed our consent episode, or non-planned consent episode. Stay safe tonight if you're partying for New Year's. Enjoy it. Make the best of it. Respect your own boundaries. And thank you for being with us all of 2018. You will hear from us in 2019. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Woahman. Listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts.
And subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Happy New Year's, guys.
Love ya.
Bye.